What's going on, you beautiful people? I'm back with another round of Hots and Knots, and this time it's from Empire's third event of the year, or as the players call it, Y4E3. But before we get started, I just want to ask if you guys really do enjoy these videos and you want to see more, remember to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. So, without further ado, let's begin! Kicking off with hot number one was the very simple fact that I got to site nice and early on Thursday, managed to get the tent up and spend a good day just chilling in the sun. It's been a fair few events as I've managed to enjoy the Thursday, whether I've been crewing or haven't been able to get there because of work commitments. So it's really nice just to chill out and watch the entire world go by and the field slowly rise from its muddy depths. Plus, on Thursday I met some very cool people, hang out with some old friends as well. Basically, it was just a really nice day. Moving on to not number one. During the Saturday battle, Wintermark stormed out as they do. We were told there was drakes. There were drakes. The VAR got to them first, yeah. Oh. Yes, so I got all excited about the fact there was going to be drakes and dragons and oh my! But we were beaten to the punch by the very quick and very skillful Navarre. Credits for the photo go to Tom Garnett, whose Patreon you can find listed and linked down below in the description. He's a very talented photographer, so give him some serious support, guys. Hot number two. Now, I always mention these guys in my Hots and Knots because genuinely, they are possibly the best thing in the Empire field. And that is none other than the Iron Raptors. For me, the Iron Raptors make the event. They're the only place that you can go as a fighter and be guaranteed skirmish after skirmish after skirmish. On top of that, there is nobody too weak or too strong to go out with them. If you turn up and you want to go out and have a scrap, you can go out for a scrap. And best of all, you're rewarded for the perils of the fight. Okay, so maybe it's only a few rings, but you know, it's better than nothing. When was the last time the nation paid you for fighting for them? On top of being the best thing in the field, to me, maybe not to yourselves, but they're definitely the coolest thing in the field, and that is a fact. There is an Iron Raptors sanctioned event coming up. It will be running from the 14th to the 17th of April 2017, and there is 100 player spaces. Tickets are £65 and crewing is free, and it's all on a first come, first served basis. So if you want to come join me and the rest of the Iron Raptors on an awesome sanctioned event, head down into the description where I will link the Facebook page, so you can go find out all the information you need and get yourself booked on. See, I'm good to you guys. I tell you about these awesome sanctioned events so we can go and LARP together and have loads of cool epic stories. Right, on with more knots. So, knot number two. Now on Saturday there was what was billed as a truly epic Wintermark skirmish. 80 of us were to set out into the marshes to fight the Jotun in an honour battle. What we actually got was 3 minutes of hitting each other, and then we all went home. Now, perhaps my perspective was slightly skewed, maybe I didn't see the main bulk of the battle, but it was billed as an even side honour duel where it would be decided the first side to lose half their fighting force. For the Jotun, the Orcs, we had a good 40 or 50 I'd say, plus 5 ogres, so I was ready for a big old scrap. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. Now, I am fully aware that Profound Decisions were trying out a new format, running it later in the evening so it was a bit darker, and there were some health and safety concerns. I admire the fact that they're trying something new. It just felt a bit lacklustre in that so many of us went out and it was over too quickly. On to happier things, hot number three. Now, when I wrote my Hots and Knots, because I do write them in note form for these videos, there was 4 or 5 different things that all kind of basically ended up being the same. And that's you guys. Whether it's the people that came up to me in field and said, hey, I really like your videos, or I've even just seen your videos, you didn't give an opinion one way or the other, and all my friends that I see only at Empire and different LARP events, hanging out with you guys, getting a little bit drunk on the Friday night, getting shivved up by Zoran, who is actually now the Dornish General. So if you want to go hit somebody for me, make sure it's the Dornish General. Without you guys being there, I wouldn't bother going to Empire, plain and simple. So from me to you, as always, thank you very much just for being there. It's become a bit of a custom in these Hots and Knots that I do a roll of names. Now this one is going to be a little bit shorter because I didn't get to see that many people. So, here's a slow motion roll of names. Not number three is something that's slowly starting to affect me a little bit mentally, and it's that everybody that I interact with ends up dead. What is wrong with you people? Last event, I had Felika die, I had Xander die, Rosalind died. This one, I made a friend. He was a really sound bloke. It turned out he was a raptor. He's dead. Stop bloody dying. On the positive side, it means that my character, Garius, has a few things going on with him that he probably needs to talk to a Stormcrow about sometime soon. So if you want to be that Stormcrow, let me know. I need a therapist. maybe that was a bit too meta. Don't let me know. Just, I'll find you. I'll find you. Hot number 4 was the brand new toys that I got courtesy of Mike Light and Light Armories. Now for me, they make the best weapons in the field. So naturally, when I needed a new Wazzy Mace of Strike Down and a dag to do some dudes in, he is the person that I went to. I also got a very nice tower shield from him as well. At this point, I'd really like to show you the things that I got, because I think they're really cool and they look amazing. However, I was a bit proactive in packing all my stuff away, so currently it's in the loft. But what I will say is that if you ever need a new weapon or a new shield, Mike Light is the guy to go to. Again, everything is listed and linked in the description below. I'm not trying to make this the ultimate plug for stuff, but it's just all really, really cool things that I think you should know about. Now we're moving on to knot number 4. Knot number 4 is a bit of a shitter. Unfortunately, this will be my last Empire of the year. Now, there's a lot of things contributing to the fact that it's my last one, but mostly it's just time constraints and other commitments. These things happen, real life gets in the way, but at the end of the day, there's always next year. Luckily, however, it's not my last LARP of the year, which I will tell you more about at the end of this video. Now, hot number 5 is a counterpoint to the one that I said about the Wintermark skirmish. My favourite skirmish was actually a Brass Coast skirmish that I managed to get on as part of the Iron Raptors. We were hired as the Iron Raptors to go out with the Brass Coast to help secure some white granite. For those of you not in the know, it's a very rare resource used to build fortifications and other stuff. Because the Brass Coast is quite a small nation, filling 40 places on a skirmish was quite a tall order. So we ended up with actually about 30 Iron Raptors and 10 Brass Coast. But what that meant is that the Iron Raptors got to show everybody exactly what we do. So we went out there, we smashed them hard, and we got the job done. Why it was a really, really cool skirmish was that it was a new format, or at least one that I hadn't seen. So there were these massive boxes that were meant to represent the caravans with the white granite in them. So there's 4 of these massive containers and only one cart to wheel it back and forth to the entrance point, which is a good, I'd say, 500 meters. But again, you're role-playing that this massive heavy box needs to be pulled along by 4 people and you're going quite slow at the same time. Absolutely fantastic while you're always under constant attack. For me, it was a brilliantly run, well-executed skirmish. So, well done PD on that one. The only negative, and it wasn't anything to do with profound decisions, was the fact that a couple of people died. Just stop dying. Right, let's move on. Let's move on to knot number 5. This is the last knot. Beyond this, there are no more knots to give. However, this knot is quite a big one, as I'm sure you'll understand in a moment. Currently, and I don't know if just because I never seem to have a good summer event with Empire, but I have a bit of a disconnection with the game. It seems that everything else is kind of going on around me, and no matter where I try and be involved, it all kind of gets shut off. So obviously what that means to me is that I'm not enjoying the event as much as I probably should, or as much as I have done in the past. So while I'm having a bit of a downer about it all, what I want you guys to do is help me out. How can you do that, I hear you ask? Well, I want you to leave down in the comments your favourite part about the event. And if you've never been to Empire, but you're thinking about going, let me know why you want to go. And our final hot of the day. Hot number 6. I don't know why I was all rock and roll Jesus about that, but I think it kind of worked. Anyway, on with hot number 6. Hot number 6 for me are all the slow little plans coming together. Within my group, Seekerhold, there's been plans floating around now since last event, and I think I mentioned them in my last Hots and Knots, that we're trying to build a new army. And slowly, that's all coming together. It's been pushed through the Synod, which is part of the religious game, and pushed through the Senate, which is all the political game. These are things that I don't really get involved with, but other people have gone there for us to push the motions through, and that's awesome. It's going to be really cool working that out over the next year to try and get a brand new Wintermark army up together. Obviously, if you go to Empire, your characters don't know that unless we've told you. Don't be meta. That's not cool. So, that's all from me on these Hots and Knots. However, I still have one more LARP left of the year, and that is none other than the absolutely fantastic Future's End. But Ad, what's Future's End, I hear you cry? Well, it's none other than the UK's only superhero LARP. Probably. That's right, for a whole weekend you get to be a superhero. Doesn't that sound amazing? Future's End is a game based with 2 factions, Alpha and Omega. Omega being a government-run agency, and Alpha being the offshoot wild cards that they are, the original superhero group. While each faction is aiming to take down supervillains, there's also a very cool mechanic in that public opinion matters. If there's a little group in your faction off doing some illegal gubbins, and one of the photographers gets a cheeky photo of it, that's going straight to the press, and your faction's getting slated. but there is so much more than that at Future's End. But I'm not going to tell you that. I want you guys to come and find out. Down below, again, I'm going to list all of the Facebook groups for it, as well as the main website page for you to go check it out. And it's running from the 30th of September to the 2nd of October. And tickets are currently £60. So why not come and give it a go? If you've got any LARPs that you think I should check out, let me know down in the comments, and I will certainly come along and play that game with you. So that's it from this Hots and Knots video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. And as always, I've been Adman, you've been awesome, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now. Woo!